Hey everybody, this is Tracy Stewart with Girl Scouts Spirit of Nebraska. I'm a program specialist for our council, and I'd like to welcome you to our Girl Scouts at Home program called Flash, Filter, Focus, and Frame. And before we get started, I just wanted to say I hope y'all are doing well, staying safe, healthy, getting outside, being active. So I'm super excited because today I have Katrina Gray with us, and she is a professional photographer, has been a photographer for 10 years. She currently resides in Kearney, Nebraska. And so I just want to welcome her, and then we're going to do this kind of like an interview style, little conversation flow. So anyway, welcome Katrina, and thanks for joining us today. Happy to have you here. Why don't you start by telling us just a little bit about yourself and how you got into photography?
All right. Thank you for having me. I love talking about photography and sharing it and helping others learn about it as well.
Hey, Katrina, real quick, is there a way that you can either speak up or get a little bit closer to your mic?
Oh, I can speak up.
All right, perfect. That'll be a little
Is
bit
that
better for the recording. All right, go
is
for
that
it.
better? Okay. So do you want me to repeat or just go on?
Yeah, just let's just repeat. That's fine.
Okay. Katrina Gray, and I'm very excited to be a part of this program. I have taught Girl Scouts many times, and I'm very honored to be a part of this project. I grew up in the Air Force, and so we moved every 2 to 4 years. Photography has always been a part of my life, but it was more of just taking cameras because we traveled everywhere. And my grandma had totes and totes and totes of negatives. I don't know if any of you guys know what negatives are, but and just packages of photographs. So way back, I don't know, even with negatives, you would have to send them in, and with film, you would have to send them in, and then you'd have to wait 2 weeks, and then you get them back, and then that's when you can find out if you did a great job on photography or not. I
Right.
really appreciate digital photography because you can see what it is before you send it in. But photography has always been around in my life, just taking photos and capturing memories, and that was it. That's all I knew of it. And I really didn't do anything with photography until I got into the Peace Corps. I joined the Peace Corps in 2001,
Very cool.
and right right after 9/11, and then we headed out. And I had a camera, and it was a film camera because digital was still coming out, but it was way expensive. Just like when
Right.
cell phones first came out, they were super expensive, and only not everybody had cell phones.
Yep.
Um, so I still took film, uh, and I would just point and snap, point the camera and snap. And then I would send all my film home back to my family members, and I would take probably like 3 film and send it to one sister, 3 rolls of film, send it to another sister, and then they all kept photo albums for me. And then they would also send some film back. We could develop film over there. So it wasn't until I got into photography until I moved back to the United States and moved to Kearney in 2009.
Okay.
And when I moved to Kearney in 2009, I applied for a job at Picture Me Studio at Walmart when they used to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking for management skills, not photography skills. And I had the management skills. I've been a manager in every job, everything that I've done. And I'm like, I've taken photographs, but um, I don't know how good I am. But they needed someone to run the store, and that's how I fell in love with photography, is working in a studio and learning how to make people smile and working with children. And it's very difficult to take a photograph and try to get a smile at the same time and have them sit and make weird funny noises
Mm-hmm.
and figure out, okay, this kid won't stop screaming, so let's put mom under the backdrop and then have the kids sit on top of the lap, and then maybe we can get a photograph that way.
That's clever. I would never have thought of that.
You have to be really clever. And it was in a small space too. I don't know if you remember Picture Me Studios, but they weren't really big areas. And to remind you, at Picture Me Studio, the camera was on a tripod. It never moved. All I had to do is turn it on, and it had a flash that was already with it. And all I did is turned it on, and I had a trip cord button, meaning that I could walk around with this trip cord and take a picture no matter where I was in the room. And so that means I'd go up with a feather and tickle a baby and get a smile and take a photograph. And then the tripod moved up and down, but that's the extent. So everybody told me I was a great photographer. I didn't even own a camera. I only took photographs at Picture Me Studio. And so then one day, one Christmas or birthday, a relative gave me a camera because everybody told me how great I was. And I'm like, okay, let me start working this camera. And 2009, I started working there. And in 2012 is when Picture Me Studio went bankrupt and they closed down. So I decided to go out on my own. Everybody told me I was a great photographer. I have this really nice camera. So I opened up a studio with a friend of mine, and we called it 2-in-1 Photography. And we learned a lot.
I'm sure.
We thought that we can just turn on our camera and our camera would take really great photos.
Didn't work out that way?
No. So I started entering some of my stuff into contests. You can go on Flickr, and Flickr has like all these contests that you can join, and it will be like, go take a picture of a flower or something. And then you go on there, and then people will rate you or say, I like this photo better than this photo. You know, so, and then if you win, you get to go to the next step. And so that was fun, getting to know what people thought and critiquing my photography. And then there is this one.
So for the Flickr contest, is it just, did you earn any, besides just kind of like recognition, like did you earn any cash prizes or anything like that?
Just
for that,
badges.
Just like the recognition type stuff. Okay.
It was badges and ranks.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So then when you went in there, if you started ranking higher with your photography skills, then you couldn't really join the beginners challenges. So there's lots of different challenges, and then you go on there and you can do like me and you, but we don't know who each other are. And then it's just, they give you a topic blue, and then you go take a picture of something blue, and then you put it on there, and then people will tell you if they like what photo they like the best.
I see.
So from there, I learned that they started asking questions about ISO and all that stuff, and I had no clue what I was talking about. So that's when I decided.
What is ISO?
Right, ISO. It's a foreign language. There's shutter speed, there's ISO, and there's f-stop. And I was using my camera on auto, and I wasn't using my camera on manual. And now, knowing of being a photographer for so long, I can pick out a photo and say they used it on auto, they didn't use it on manual.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. That's how I got into it, is by jumping into it and figuring out that, so I had a lease for a year. I had to keep the lease. So I learned a lot in that whole year of photography. And then after my lease was done, I went to school for it.
Nice. So where did you study?
I went to Central Community College. I took all of my classes, as many classes as I could, here in Kearney, but the program is located in Hastings. So I drove every day to Hastings to do my photography classes there, and you also have to learn how to do Photoshop, and I'm pretty sure it's changing into Lightroom right now.
Right, right.
Yep. So I went there for 2 years, and then right when that ended, UNK opened up a new photography program. And so I was able to hop over to there and be a junior over there. And then I finished with a bachelor's degree with my photography at UNK.
So when you're talking about, so do you and your business partner, you still have your business 2-in-1 Photography?
Oh no, that's like, no, it's changed a lot. So when you first start out as a photographer, you're an amateur photographer. So after that year, we both realized that we didn't know what we were doing because our camera was not set up on a tripod, and it wasn't based off of a what are they, corporation, because they just set them up and they knew how to do it. She went her own way and I went my way, and then I went to photography school, and then my photography name changed a lot, you know, because photography, 2-in-1 Photography, Katrina's Photography, Photography with Katrina. For some reason, photographers like their names to be a part of, part of their business. I don't. So it took me a long time to get to where I am with Simply Unique Images.
Okay.
And yep, so I did use Super Unique Images, Simply Unique Images by Katrina Gray, but I cut out the by Katrina Gray. So there's times that you'll go and you're like, do I really need that? Is that part of my pride? Is that part of my ego? What do my clients want? What do my clients? And so that took a while to figure out.
Cool. So do you want to show some of your evolution here with your work?
I'll show so when I first started, I did not start with a business page because I was an amateur and I didn't feel like I was ready for a business page. So I posted a lot to my Facebook page to, just so I can show off my work.
Right.
I'm going to share my screen. So that can go away. So we'll start with my Facebook page.
Okay.
I have to scroll all the way down here. So I remember the first photo I ever took. This is my baby girl when she was little. So this is Picture Me studio photos. This is how good I was at taking photos in a studio with lighting. So you have a backdrop, and I did the best that I could. I loved it. I was able to get them to pose. We had posing tables. So lots of different things. And going from there, and you have to excuse me because every time you get out of this, it pops back to the very beginning. So I have to scroll down. And so I went from doing that kind of quality of photography to, let's see here, and just practicing on friends and family and doing everything that I could. I went to, my daughter's part Zambian, so we went to Africa and London. So sorry about that. I'm afraid to clock it or click in anywhere. So let's do this. This was in my studio, and my friend took this one. But here's this photo. And do you see how blurry it is on the bottom and adding accents? And this is a fake background and then a Christmas tree. And I did see one. Oh, that sucks. I have to figure something out besides that.
So what's your business page look like now?
Okay. So this is my business page now. And so you'll start to see that you'll go through changes. There's so much photography out there. There's fine arts photography, baby photography, family photography, wedding photography, senior photography, and I dipped into all of them. And then I realized the ones that I do like and the ones that I don't like. And so sometimes you'll go to fluffy and airy, which are these ones where they're brighter. And then here's my artistic ones with my dances. And then yeah, with the dance ones. And then my daughter and her best friend, I always take their birthday parties or birthday pictures. I did superhero dash run for free so I can get more photography. So that's my promotion. I love to give back to the community too. And it just gets better and better.
Yeah.
When you practice, and you'll always still have some mistakes throughout the time. No matter how good you think you are, you might have an off day. So, and
That's
then
cool.
just starting to get into, maybe animals aren't that easy to do. This is my abstract. I really like abstract photography, but a lot of people don't understand it because they can't recognize it with faces. One time I did this, what's your favorite photo? And with this family here, let's see, I put like 5 different photos of their session, and 3 of them were my artistic ones. And this one got the most likes because it was facial recognition, because they could see the faces. So that's something like if you get into photography and people can see faces, it's going to have more of a like. This is one of my favorite baby ones.
Adorable.
It takes 3 hours to do a baby photo shoot.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then now I'm going to scroll up to the top. My style is kind of changed now because you kind of have to stay with the style that's going on, and or pick a style that is a little bit different because that's what is trending. You have to stay trending. Oh, so I go to give back. I know this is one of the questions, and I know I'm jumping ahead. To give back in my photography, I do free single parent photo shoots. Because as a single parent, I know I couldn't justify spending $75 or $400 on photos. And I remember when I wasn't able to, I remember sending out my first Christmas card with our family on it and how joyful that made me feel. So I wanted to give that to other people. So that's what I did for a long time. And I also go to nursing homes and take free photos of the elderly that live in the nursing homes, the residents.
Very cool.
And it's all free unless they want to pay for a package for Christmas presents and stuff.
Nice. Well, thank you for showing that, Katrina. That's cool. So I guess I 2 things. Now? Ooh, that's neat.
Yeah, that's lighting.
So here's a question that I have in terms of like creativity. What's been sort of the coolest photography trick or something that you've learned that's just been really cool in terms of how to change like effects when you're taking a photo?
I did it with the Girl Scouts. I wonder if it will be on here. So when I was doing photography, or when I was teaching photography for the badges, I had 3 girls, and we did a concept of one girl would take a photo of the rocks, one girl would take a photo of the birds, and one person would take a photo of the tree. But we had to lay it all out together, is because what we were going to do is then take those photos and put them on the computer, and then put the camera on a tripod, and then face the camera to the computer, and then take all 3, and then combine all 3 photos together.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so.
So let me see if I can find it. I know that I posted it. But then now you have like the rocks and on the bottom, and the birds on the top, and flying to the tree. So all three photos were able to combine together. And that's one of my favorite tricks or manipulations I was able to do with the camera.
Okay. Very cool.
I was trying to find it earlier. but that was one of the girls' favorites as well when we were doing photography.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, go ahead.
Painting with light is fun too. I'll show you a photo of that, but you can go ahead and talk while
I was just gonna say, you know, you mentioned doing the photography and stuff with some Girl Scouts. So I just wanted to put a little bug in your ear, and not yours specifically, Katrina, although you're taking part in this. So we actually are offering a VIP program, and that stands for Virtual Interactive Power Program. So that will be taking place on Thursday, June 25th and Monday, June 29th, and those times will be from 3 to 4 p.m. And so Katrina will be working with Girl Scouts again virtually to go in more depth in terms of teaching more about photography. The girls will have some time to learn during that first session. Excuse me, they'll have time to go out and take photos. Excuse me. They'll go out and take photos and then come back on that second session to do some reflection and sharing and things like that. So we're really excited about that. So if you want to sign up for that VIP photography badge program, you can go to www.girlscoutsnebraska.org and search that program and get registered. So that'll be cool. Katrina, I'm just checking our time. I want to make sure that I'm respectful of the time that we have. I guess I will end with this question in terms of what advice would you give girls who have a passion for photography or an interest in it, and or you know they want to take their passion and turn it into a business? What advice can you give girls?
To be very patient. It takes a while to learn your camera off auto. You want to use manual, and learning all three elements together is complicated. Just don't be discouraged. There's been many times that I've wanted to throw my camera, but if you're not challenged, then how do you grow? So, and I've been challenged multiple times, even doing this for 10 years. Business-wise, I say you will most likely start off for free and doing friends and family, and then you'll start getting taken advantage of, and then you'll get tired of that, and then you'll start charging. And know your value. Know your value, know your worth. And people don't see this as a living, so they're going to want to get photographs for as cheap as possible, but they don't understand. So make sure you educate your clients on why you charge the way you charge. And don't say, when people ask how much do you charge for photos, don't say, oh, I charge $75 an hour for a session, because they're like, oh wait, that's way too much. You know, I'm charging $75 because I'm here spending an hour with you. Then I go home and then I have to delete down the 500 photos I just took. And then I have to edit the 20 photos that I took. And so know your value and know your worth, and make sure that you can make a profit off of it. You just have to be confident in what you do.
It's great advice. Again, I want to thank you, Katrina, for taking this little bit of time out of your day to do this, to talk to us a little bit and give us some tidbits. And again, if you are interested in earning the photography badge, we are offering that VIP program coming up June 25th and 29th. Go to our website, www.girlscoutsnebraska.org, to find that program and get registered. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye, Katrina.
Bye.